is road trip time. It is Thursday morning. The sun is illuminating the left half of me. It feels nice and warm, although once you step outside of this car, it is colder than a witch's titty out there. It is 27 degrees outside currently, according to my little car's thermometer thingy. Colder than it looks out there. The GPS lady may chime in from time to time, although she just told me I got to go this away for 21 miles. So maybe she won't talk for a bit. She's very rude. She just interrupts. She doesn't even say please or thank you. She just barks orders at me. I could be right in the middle of talking about something important and she chimes in 2 miles. Like, shut up. Did you not hear that you have interrupted my train of thought? And that's not good to do to an older person. When can you start referring to yourself as an older person? I think it is when people start saying to you, you look good for your age. You look good for your age. And whenever you go to a family event, everybody wants to take your picture because it may be your last. They want to be able to remember you. And if they see you napping, they get worried. They have to check for a pulse. Maybe I'm not quite there yet, but that's Swanee. I got to 48 really fast. So today, we are going to Lexington, North Carolina. That thing's doing me no good. We're going to Lexington, North Carolina to hopefully organize some nail polish. Why are you going all the way to Lexington to do that? You may ask. Well, you may not know how far Lexington is. It's not that far. It's like 30 minutes away. Because I went by the Taj Mahal Mart a few days ago. I do a lot of traveling and looking that I don't always make a video when I go. I go looking for places to do videos. The nail polish at the Taj Mahal Mart, the fancy Walmart in High Point, is still not labeled. They pulled all the labels off a year ago. They did it in January of 2021. Pulled all the labels off for it to be reorganized and redone. It was never redone. It's been unlabeled for over a year now. You can't do it. You can't exactly put nail polish in spots if you don't know where the heck it goes. And people who don't know any better say, well, why don't you just flip the thing up and look at the labels underneath? Well, first of all, I don't feel like doing this 400 times. And also, the way the labels are put on there, they're not any help. A lot of times they don't even have the names on them. They don't help you. And even if they could, I'm not doing this right here 400 times because I do what I want to and I don't do what I don't want to. That's why. So, there are other Walmarts around that have a decent nail polish setup, but some of them are really loud. Some of them are always super organized. The one on Wendover is always really spick and span. It always looks perfect. There's never anything to do there. It always looks beautiful. Whoever manages that department is on the ball. Whoever it is, they know what they're doing. Okay. I was chilly earlier. I don't wear a coat when I go do these videos because you don't want the microphone rustling on the coat and making noise, or you don't want to the sound of a coat in the video. So I have to just not wear a coat. And on cold days like this, it kind of sucks because I first got in the car and it was freezing in here. I'm pretty warm now. I'm all right. You have to make sure to wear a shirt that doesn't have a collar on it, like a turtleneck or a cowl neck, or anything that's going to hit your microphone and make noise, because you won't hear it while you're making the video. You won't realize it until after you're done. That's blinded me. Gosh. And the sun is in just the right position where this helps a little bit, but not a whole lot. Oh well. Things I do. Well, I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day so far. I got up and did some general housekeeping stuff at home this morning and got my kids off to school, and so now I'm headed this way. I haven't been to Lexington since the last time we made a video there. It's not a place I go. I mean, I don't know anybody there. I don't have any reason to go there. I think also it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Probably by the time I get done with the video, the nail polish video, assuming I can can't do it, I may get there and find out I can't. If I can't do it in Lexington, I will go to Thomasville and try their Walmart, because I want to go to Lidl in Thomasville when I'm done today before I head home. What was I? Oh, yeah, after that, I'm probably going to be hungry. It'll probably be about lunchtime by the time I get done. And I thought we would head over to Biscuit King again and see what looks good at Biscuit King. It's a little place in Lexington. They serve, biscuits, and an American biscuit is not a cookie. It's bread. It's kind of like a scone, but it's not sweet. And there are different types of biscuits. People don't realize that. They're not all made the same. I believe at Biscuit King they make their biscuits with either shortening or lard. I'm not sure which, but it's one of the two. You can tell by the texture. If it just kind of melts in your mouth and makes you feel like you've died and gone to heaven, that's either a lard biscuit or a shortening biscuit. They're terrible for you. They're terrible. Or as where I grew up, the people will say terrible. It's terrible. Terrible. You shouldn't eat like that very often. It's terrible. You can just feel that left ventricle slamming shut. You're going to die, but what a way to go. No, I don't eat stuff like that very often. I really don't. And growing up, my mom did not make biscuits with shortening or lard. She made them with usually vegetable oil or canola oil. That's just how she did it. And butter, either sweet milk or buttermilk. Sweet milk is just milk. That's the term. I grew up drinking raw milk straight from the cow. That was what we always had. And my parents knew this elderly couple that had a few dairy cows, and we would buy milk from them. We would get sweet milk and buttermilk, and the sweet milk would get a little cream on the top. We would get them in these big reusable glass. They look like big old pickle jars, which is what I think they were originally. Nice and sterilized and everything, very clean. I drank raw milk all throughout my childhood. So did my parents and my brother. None of us ever got sick from it. And I'm not here to get into a lecture about, I'm not here to debate milk. God knows there are bigger issues in the world we could debate. I am not here to trifle about milk. Anyway, how the hell did I get to talking about milk? No, I grew up drinking raw milk. And to this day, milk, I can drink, store-bought milk. But when I pull that jug out of the refrigerator, I always shake it. I can't break that habit. I have to shake it up. Because with raw milk, you have to shake it before you pour it, because the cream rises to the top and you're going to have that little layer of cream up there. You can skim it off, but it's a good idea to shake it up a little bit before you pour it. And to me, the milk from the store just tastes like chemicals. It just, ugh. It's not as good. It's nowhere near as good. But I'll drink it. Yeah. First time I ever had milk from the store was probably when I went to school. And I still remember it just tasted weird. Ugh. What is wrong with this milk? It's turnt. Yeah, but I haven't had raw milk since I was a kid. It was a wonderful experience. My mother and I, after my mom got off work on Fridays, we would take our milk jars from that week, take them with us, and we would, she would wash them, or I would wash them, or somebody would wash them, or they'd go through the washing machine. And then we put them in a bag, put them in a paper bag, take them with us, and we would exchange them out for, a gallon of sweet milk, gallon of buttermilk, 2 gallons of sweet milk, whatever. But what we would do, it was the nicest couple. The lady was usually her husband was elsewhere. They were older. They were probably in their 70s. There's a hearse decorated up for a body parts. That's funny. There was a hearse back there up on the thing, and it said we sell old parts. That's kind of macabre. All right, sorry. That derailed me. That was funny. I couldn't get a picture because I'm talking to you on my phone and I'm driving, and you don't need to be doing that. I'm not looking at you, by the way. People talking about, you need to quit looking at. I ain't even looking at y'all. I'm looking that away. I'm not looking at you. But anyway, we would talk to, my mom would visit with them. And she had the sweetest voice. It was very ASMR-ish. And just listening, I love to listen to her talk and tell stories. And I'd just fall asleep. I'd get comfortable. They had this, usually I ended up in this recliner, and I would end up just falling asleep listening to her voice. My mom had to wake me up when it was time to go home. Am I in Thomasville? I think I'm in Thomasville already. Dang. That's pretty good. I got the knee on the wheel. Gotta have my coffee. I have derailed myself again. I'll probably end up talking to you on the way back too. I talk to myself in the car all the time. I figured I might as well start recording it. Just share this shit with the world. Lexington is 11 miles from here. But there was a sign back there saying I had entered the Thomasville city limits. Alright. Well, the hair balm on my hair dried, and it feels like I have this this spray. It's a salt water spray, texturizing spray for your hair. It has sea salt in it. Basically, it feels like I put that in there. I can't really tell that it did anything spectacular to my hair. I think I've been ripped off. I think I have been duped by the hair story people who made it sound like smack a little bit of this crap in your hair and you'll look like a superstar. They didn't really do anything at all. It was disappointing. Okay. I don't remember what I was going to say. Just forget it. I don't even know what the hell point I was getting to. I don't know how I got off talking about milk. But yeah, I did. I grew up drinking raw milk. And it was always fun too in the springtime. In the springtime it was great because it started to taste like grass. You know, once the cows were back out in the field eating grass again, they eat grain and stuff all winter. The milk would taste like grass a little bit. You get this faint taste of onions in the milk. And it was always exciting. I say, Mama, spring's here. Spring is here. I can taste it in the milk. It was great. And sometimes when my mom visited, I would go out to the barn and I would pet the cows and talk to them. I knew the cows that my milk came from. I'd go out there and talk to them and pet them, and they'd give me an apple or something to take out there and give to them, or, you know, here, go feed them this carrot or whatever, you know, so I'd have something to give them. So they'd look forward to me coming out there. And yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. Buying cars. I told you I was going to talk about buying cars. I'm not buying a car, no. I'm very happy with my car. It's very funny though. I bought this car from CarMax, used. I bought it in 2018. Wow, I've had it almost 4 years. And it's a 2015. And but one of the key fob things stopped working, and I went to a local Nissan dealership to get another one, and that's all they did. I said, all I need is a key fob. I don't need anything else from y'all. Can you do a key fob for me? Sure. They're outrageously expensive for what is basically a freaking garage door opener. It was $300 for a new key fob for this car. I swear. But I don't like having just one that works. You know, I don't like that. I wanted to make sure I had two. So anyway, I had to have that done. It was probably in 2019. It was like I had had the car for about a year when one of the key fobs stopped working. And I check them periodically to make sure they both still work, and they do. But anyway, okay, so I had that done. It was probably 2019 that I got that key fob. That dealership still calls me on a regular basis. They've put my name into some database somewhere, and they call me. I would say probably 4 or 5 times a year. They still call me. No matter how many times I tell them to stop, they still call. Hey, we see, you can tell they're reading the script. We see that you are a valued customer of such and such a dealership. We have a wonderful offer for you today. We would love to purchase your car. Or they'll call and say, we see it's time for you to come in for your scheduled service. Oh my God, I keep telling them, you want to buy my car? $1 million. Give me $1 million or shut the hell up and quit calling me. Like, I don't have any scheduled service with you either. You've never done anything to my car other than make a dadgum key fob for it. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see that here. Like, yeah, you have never done anything to my car. You're not going to do anything to my car. I have a trusted mechanic that does everything for my car. And when he says there's something wrong, I know there's something wrong. And I know he's been taking care of my cars for 20 years. You will not touch my car. He takes care of my cars. All the cars I've had for 20 years, he's taken care of. And he has never done me wrong. And if there's nothing wrong, he'll tell me there's nothing wrong. Everything's good. And he doesn't even charge me for that because he's awesome. He said, I'm sure you'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. But they keep calling me and calling me. I think all that's left to do is get dirty. I mean, I don't like to do that. I had to do that with this one company that kept calling me, trying to buy my house. And they do that to everybody. It's not just me. I know a ton of people that have had, people keep calling trying to buy my house. So I had to just start getting dirty with them. What you wearing? I sounded a lot like Carl. Hey, baby. I'm so glad you called me right now. I'm all alone at the house. What are you doing? You want to come over on your lunch hour and play Naked Twister? And then they hang up on me. They quit calling me. After I did that one time, they never called me again. I'm going to have to get dirty with the car dealership. I don't want to because it makes me very uncomfortable, especially if it's a lady on the other end. But damn it, I've tried being nice. I've tried being firm. And none of that is working because they keep calling me. We see it in our database. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't see anything in there because I am not a customer of yours. I didn't buy my car there. You've never done anything to my car except make a key fob for it. I don't like car dealerships. I don't. And I realize, people just want to make a living, this and that. I get it. I don't know that I've had too many good experiences with car dealerships. So I'll talk about the cars I bought in my life. So my first car was a piece of crap, and I should have known better. But I made a decision based on emotions more than facts, and I know better than to do that. Don't let your emotions guide your major life decisions. Just don't. You need to think long and hard about it, and use the correct half of your brain to make big life decisions. Don't do it because it made you swoon. That's not a good thing to base your decisions on. Well, I wanted a car that looked cool, and I found this Pontiac Fiero that was for sale in Asheville, and I loved it because it looked so cool. It was such a cool, and I still think Fieros are cool looking cars. I mean, even now, if I see one on the road, first of all, I'm surprised it's still running, and second of all, I'm just like, that is just the coolest little car. It's a little two-seater from Pontiac. The engine's in the back. They are pieces of shit. Okay, they're awful. And they were known to just randomly just burst into flames. So there was that little problem too. Mine never burst into flames, but it stranded me everywhere. I was mad enough that I wished it burst into flames. At least then I'd be done with it. So anyway, I wanted this Pontiac Fiero, and it was $3,000, which was $3,000 too much. So my mom and I, we made a deal, and it's the same deal I made with my older son. All right, you need to get a job. I will take you to work, drop you off, or whatever. You need to save up $500. When you save up $500 and you show me you're serious about it, we'll go looking for a car. But $3,000 was my limit. Now, this was back in 1989, so that wasn't a terrible, you could get a decent car. So that was my limit. So, of course, the Fiero was $3,000. So she said, all right, I'll pay. She paid for my insurance, but I had to make payments to her. I think I had to pay her $100 a month every month, first of the month. I had to keep my grades up, and I had to keep my payments current, and I would pay for the gas, any repairs, whatever the car needed, I had to pay for. Which, yeah, I spent more on repairs than I did on that stupid car. The car ran great for the first month. Ooh, there's a Corvette. Ah, it's a Stingray. Nice. Anyway, so it ran okay for the first 6 months or so. I didn't really have any problems with it. It was super cool. It was a little white 1984 Fiero. Really cool. And so it was all right, and then it started overheating. It had trouble with the cooling system. I had all this work done on it more than once trying to fix the cooling system, and yeah, it didn't. It just kept having problems and having problems. And one time, I was a senior in high school, and I told the car, I told her, I said, look, little car, if you will just get me through high school, I won't ask another thing of you ever again. If you just let me get through high school, I will not ask anything else of you. Graduation night, I graduated. I get to a nearby McDonald's. I pull into the parking lot. I go inside to use the restroom. I come back out. My car wouldn't start, and it never started again. It just died. It was completely deceased. Like there was no pulse, no heartbeat, nothing. It was dead, and it never started again. I said, well, I mean, to be fair, I did tell her if she got me through high school, I would never ask anything else of her. The thing that saved me, though, was that the body and the interior were in spectacular shape. It was a beautiful car. It was in great shape. I still owed my mom $700 on this car. And when I went off to college, she was able to sell it for $700 to a guy who was restoring a Fiero and wanted it basically for parts and stuff. Well, shoot, which one of these lanes? So anyway, I was square with her, so we were done. But my freshman year of college, I didn't have a car, which really sucked. Keep left. Okay, well, I guess I gotta move. So for my freshman year of college, I didn't have a car. My freshman year was the only time I didn't work. I didn't really have a way to get to a job or anything. Plus, there was a lot of personal stuff going on. My life was kind of a mess that year. I had a lot of issues that year. It got better after that, but let me get through here. I'll get back to it. Well, I made it to the Lexington Walmart. Look at that. Beautiful piles of snow over yonder. So pretty. So I'm here at the Lexington Walmart. I actually got here earlier than I had planned to. Originally, I thought I wouldn't get here till about, I don't know, noon or so. But I left the house a little bit early. So let me tell you about my cars. Okay, so I had the Fiero, and it died, and it never started again. I mean, it was just like it had just flatlined. I mean, like it was just, the whole car just was deceased. It was no longer with us. Like it could not be revived. Now, the hand of God couldn't have saved this car. It was just dead. So I was very sad, but at least it fulfilled its, obligation to me, and then it died. So I didn't have a car. And then what I did, the summer after my freshman year of college, I worked in a factory. I worked in a Black & Decker facility all summer. I worked 6 days a week. I also worked at an Eveready plant for a while. I busted my butt all summer, work, and saved up some money for a down payment. And I'm glad my mom went with me to the dealership, because I was 18 years old. Well, she would have had to co-sign for me anyway, because I was 18 and, didn't really have a credit history to speak of yet. My mom, I tell you what, she is a Southern lady, but she won't take any shit off of anybody, and she's not a jerk about it. She's firm, and she went with me, and she's actually, I never knew she was such a good negotiator until we went to the dealership. And I hated it. So we go to this dealership. I couldn't decide between a Toyota Tercel and a Nissan Sentra. I kept going back and forth like, well, Consumer Reports says they're both really good. I want a small car, but the Tercel is smaller and costs a bit more than the Sentra, so I think I'll go with the Sentra. So we go to this Nissan dealership, and the interest rates were really good on new cars, and the used Sentras were not a lot cheaper than the new ones. So we go, and of course this was back, hang on, I just got a reminder call from my doctor's office for an appointment I called and canceled yesterday. So I had to call and cancel it again. And the receptionist was kind of a jerk, like, well, I see here that it was canceled yesterday. Well, then why is your robot calling me to tell me to come in? Anyway, I have to get my thyroid checked once a year, and I had to reschedule. They have to do blood work and stuff, and I had to reschedule it. And the receptionist is kind of a jerk. Anyway, so hopefully it's actually canceled now and they're not expecting me to show up. So yeah, okay, I bought, let me start over. So my mom and I go to this dealership to look at Sentras, and they had what I wanted. I wanted a 5-speed, 2-door Sentra in red. That's what I wanted. And they had one because I had seen it on their lot. This was back in 1992. I couldn't exactly go on the internet and look at their inventory. You had to actually go around and look. And I saw that they had what I wanted. And of course they would have the price on the window, but you were supposed to haggle, or, you know, like that wasn't the real price. And I hate that. Even back then I said, why can they not just tell me how much it is? Like when I walk into the grocery store, I do not have to haggle for the price of milk. Why do I have to do this with a car? This is so dumb, and I will always wonder if I got the best deal. Well, I also had a circular from the paper of another dealership. It was like an hour away, but they had the same car for way less. And my mom said, bring that with us when we go up there to talk to them. So I did. And we get up there, and their price was $2,000 or $3,000 more. And I you know, we walk in, and my mom's all nice, you know. And so we get to deal with the salesman. And it's, how you fine ladies doing today? Blah, blah, blah. And they want to talk to you. They want to know your whole life story. Nah. You could end up there all day. You could end up in that dealership all day. Well, my mom was just like, get to the point. We want to get this car. What is the best deal you can give us on this car? She was like, stop. We want that car right there. What is the best price you'll give? And he's just like, because I think he had like this whole script he's supposed to go through. It's like, why are you just getting to the point? He goes, well, I have to go talk to the manager. And you know, they always say that. I'm going to go talk to the manager. I'm not really sure. So he'll have us sitting in his little cubicle. I'll be right back. And you know damn well they're not going to talk to anybody. So he comes back, and he has this little folded up piece of paper, and he goes, this is our best deal, like it's a secret or something. Like, here's our best deal. And he hands it to my mom, and my mom opens it and goes, nah, try again. I'm not paying that. Oh, but that's our best deal. Well, then we'll just leave. He goes, oh, no. Let me go talk to the manager again, see if I can do better. And we went back and forth 3 or 4 times. And he kept coming back with different pieces of paper. And I'm not seeing these papers. My mom is. My mom's like, nah, no. And then finally, the guy's just exasperated. He's like, ma'am, I can't do anymore. I'm at the risk of losing my job. She's like, no, you're not. You're not going to lose anything except maybe some commission. Look. And then she asked me for the paper that showed, like, look, here's the exact same car at this other dealership, brand new. Look how much cheaper it is than yours. Now tell me why I shouldn't go down there and buy that car. Oh, well, that changes things. Let me take this to my manager. Oh, my God. We ended up there for like 4 hours. Back and forth. I said, this is ridiculous. Why do we have to go through this? She said, it's all part of the game. This is just what you have to do. It's just part of the game when you buy a car. I said, well, it shouldn't be. It's stupid. She said, I know, but this is just what you have to do. And don't let them screw you over. So she ended up getting me a hell of a deal on that car. We even got it a bit cheaper than the other dealership. I got a deal. I got that car. It was cheap. it was a hell of a deal she got for me on that car. And so it was in her name initially, but I was making all the payments on it. And then after it was paid for, she put it in my name. So, but yeah, I worked. I continued working on through college. So I didn't have to borrow. I borrowed the smallest amount of money possible. I worked as much as I could, so I didn't have to borrow so much. Because all the student loans were mine. My parents didn't pay for me to go to school. I knew I was on my own, which I think was a good thing. You know, I think I worked harder knowing it was my money that was on the line and not somebody else's. So now that car I bought in 1992. I drove that car for 14 years. I had it for a total of 17 years. I put over 320,000 miles on that car. Never had any major problems with it. Yeah, it was a fantastic car. I definitely got my money's worth out of that car. And so then it started having some electrical problems, and I bought another Sentra in 2006. That was kind of the same deal. I was married at the time, and my then husband did most of the negotiating. It actually wasn't as bad. That process didn't take quite as long. We didn't have to haggle as much. The worst part was that the car that I ended up buying was in South Carolina, and we had to go all the way down there to get it. But it was a really good deal. We just had to go to South Carolina. But then I got a 2006 Sentra. It was also a 5-speed. I drove stick shifts for 19 years, and then that car was totaled. I was hit. It was not my fault. It was the other guy's fault. I was driving down the road, and he pulled right in front of me, and I just hit him like that. I didn't even have time to hit the brakes. He pulled right in front of me. Anyway, so then that was in 2011. So I had that car for 5 years. 2011, I bought a car from an individual, and it was another Sentra, but it was an automatic. It was a used one. That process was actually very easy. It was like, here's what I want for the car. Do you want it? Yeah, I guess. And fortunately, the money I got from the insurance was enough to pay for that car, so it didn't really cost me anything. But I think the best experience I've ever had with buying a car was, okay, so I had a Nissan truck that I bought from my dad. That was a very easy experience too, and I got a heck of a deal. I got the family discount on that truck. And then I sold it not too long ago. My son decided he didn't want the truck. I said, okay. I was going to sell it to him for a deal, but he said, nah, I'd rather have something else. So I went shopping around for a car for him. And I asked around, like, where's the best place to get just like a cheap used car, a cheap but dependable car? Go down High Point Road, Gate City. There are all these dealerships. Go down there. Go talk to some people down there. It was the best experience I've ever had buying a car, let me tell you. I went to one of the dealerships down there, and I'm walking around looking at the cars. You know, the guy comes out, see anything you like? And they had just pulled in a car, and I said, ooh, that one's nice. He goes, yeah, we just got that. You want to drive it? I said, yeah. What do we need to do? He said, let me run in and grab the keys. You hop in. We'll take it for a drive. And we drove around the city. I was driving, and I guess this car is nice. I like this. How much is it? $8,500. I said, really? It was a nice. I thought it was a good deal for $8,500. He said, yeah, $8,500. And he said that's the no haggle price. We don't do haggling. That's just the price. You take it or leave it. I said, it sounds pretty good. I like it. You know, it's nice, low miles. It's a good looking car. He said, you want it? I said, yeah. He said, all right. We'll go back and we just, drive us on back, and we'll fill out paperwork. And I was in and out of there. He said, how you will pay for it? I said, well, I can put down some money now. I got to go get a cashier's check. He said, okay. Bring it back. You want to bring it back tomorrow? Yeah. Okay. So I brought back the check the next day, and there you go. And that was it. He didn't give a shit to hear about my life, my kids, no chit chat, no small talk. I wish all dealerships were like that. Like, look, you want it or not? Okay, cool. Either you do or you don't. I don't really care. If you want to buy it, great. If not, whatever. There was no small talk, no nothing. Like, why can't they all be like that? It's not, no offense, but like, I don't want to hear about your kids and your family and your this. I don't care. We went to another dealership and they tried to start this salesman comes running out. May I help you today? I was there with my son and I already knew the car we were going to look at because we had seen it in their online inventory. It was a little Hyundai Veloster and it was red and it was a cute little car. I thought it was cool. My son liked it. He said, I want to go look at that car. So we get down there and this salesman comes out. He starts trying to chit chat. And I just basically did like my mom did when we went looking at cars, like that car right there. I want to drive that car. We want to test drive that car. Oh, but we have that car right there is the only one I'm here to see. Can we take it for a drive? Yeah, I guess. And he was all confused, like, I'll be back. And we test drove it. My son didn't like it. It was very bumpy. It was like riding in a Jeep. It was very bumpy. He didn't like it. He said, yeah, I don't like it. And so we get back and the salesman's all excited. My son hadn't told me yet that he didn't like it. The salesman goes to talk to somebody. Let me go talk to the manager. I'm like, you don't need to talk to the manager. But while he was gone, my son said, Mom, I don't really like that car. I don't like the way it rides. So he comes back and he looks all excited. I said, yeah, we're not going to take that car. Just, you don't need to do anything else. We're not going to take that car. And he looked like he was going to cry. I felt really bad. He was a young guy. Like, stay strong. You don't owe him anything. And I said, yeah. He said, but we have other cars. I swear I thought he was going to cry. We have other cars. We have similar cars. No, he's decided he doesn't like the Veloster because of the way it rides. But we have other cars that are small. I said, no, that's literally the only one we were here to see. Thank you for your time. That we could just stop right there. Thank you for your time. Can we call you? No. If you have anything else that we want, we'll let you know. Can I get your phone number? No, you cannot. Thank you for letting us drive it. We'll be off. And it was, I felt bad for the guy, but it's like, don't feel bad. If you don't want the car, you don't owe him anything. Buying this car was great because it was kind of the same thing when I bought this car. I had been checking online with CarMax. I wanted a car like this with all the features this one has. This was the exact car I wanted. And when I saw it pop up in their inventory, I contacted them immediately and I said, that's the one I want. And I got there, I said, we don't need to chat. I just want to drive that car. And if I like the way it drives, I'm going to buy it today. Okay. And I love that they have the no haggle price. I wish they all did that. So I drove it. I said, this car is awesome. I will take it. And yeah, and that was it. Sign papers, do this, do that. It was mine. And I financed it, but I paid it off in like 3 months. So I have no debt except my house, which makes me happy. Ew. This lady just got in the car next to me. She had a mask hanging from her turn signal. I swear to God, it looked like a bandage from the Civil War. It had like, ew, it looked like she had drooled on it. That's just gross. I'm sorry. It just looked disgusting. I'd say it was tie-dyed, but I think it was just like body fluids all over it. Damn, throw it away. Ugh. Nothing like cleanliness in this period we live in. Nice. Okay, so yeah, buying this car was very simple too. Like, I don't need to chat. I don't need to look at any other cars. I don't need you to recommend anything to me. I know exactly what I want. I want this car right here. I don't care what else you got. I know what else you got. I've been watching your inventory. I've been watching the inventory of every CarMax in the state. This is the car I want. This one. It has everything I want. Boom. And I got it. So this was right around the time I went on my cruise, and they had to ship it in, and I had to come back and drive it. But yeah, it was around the time we went on that cruise to the Bahamas, and so I was able to go test drive it and get it after that, which was awesome. So that's my car buying experience. I'm gonna tell you what, when I ever get around to looking for another car, which I'm gonna drive this one into the ground. I have no plans to get rid of it. I'm not somebody that has to have like a certain type of vehicle. I am not trying to impress anybody. I don't care. I mean, as long as it gets me where I want to go, I don't really care. I'm not worried about having the newest and the best whatever. Which that was one really interesting thing when I started working in a law firm that I noticed. Most of the attorneys there, I mean, you know, attorneys that were making gobs of money every year, they didn't drive fancy vehicles. They didn't drive, no. Honestly, most of them drove like Camrys and Accords. They didn't have fancy cars. They really, and I know they could afford them, but I guess they just didn't see the point. You know, I don't know. I've never been one to worry about what anybody thinks of my car, which nobody's going to think anything of your car. I mean, even around here, well, Greensboro, you could get an $80,000 Corvette and hardly anybody's even going to look twice at it because they're everywhere. It's really not that odd to see expensive vehicles. So you're not even impressing anybody if you're trying to. Like, nobody cares. So I drive what I want to drive. But yeah, if and when I get around to looking for another car, I swear I'm going back down to Gate City and I'm going to go talk to those people again. Like, what you got that's good? That, you want it? All right. Let's just get right to the point. I love that. Just get to the point. I love it. All right, I'm going to go into the store and see if I can make a video or not. And then maybe on the drive back, or yeah, on the drive back, we'll talk about anxiety, my smart mouth, like dealing with anxiety. We'll talk about that. But for now, I'm going to go into Walmart and see if I can organize any nail polish. And then I will see you after that. Well, shoot, that didn't work out. I just came back in. I came back from the Walmart. First of all, the music in there is really loud and I don't need to wang chung while I'm trying to organize nail polish. I got back to the nail polish section and it actually looks really super good. Like there was really nothing for me to even do, which is great, I suppose, but it kind of sucks for me because everybody wang chung tonight and I'm looking at it like everybody. Shit, there's nothing for me to organize here. Okay, but on my way back to the nail polish, I spotted something. I said, I'm gonna get that before I go. Look at these pants. These are from Avia, and they are workout pants. They're little capri length exercise pants. Look, it's the perfect pattern. I'm already putting together my Christmas workout outfit for this Christmas, and I got a tank top. I got this exercise tank top that has holly berries on it, and it says Merry Christmas. It's gonna look perfect with these little red pants. Oh my gosh, look at them. They have this big old wide waistband. Look at that print. Aren't they cute? So, I mean, yeah, I didn't get to organize nail polish, but I got the coolest pants. That's one thing I love about visiting stores outside of town. I never saw these in any of the Walmarts in Greensboro. No, but they're Avia, and it says they have a matching top. They had little crop tops, like long sleeve crop tops like this, but all they had were black and navy blue. I don't really need it anyway. I've got my Merry Christmas tank top that I'm gonna wear with this, because I am learning the choreographed stuff. I went to this 90-minute class right around Christmas time, and I didn't know any of the moves. I didn't know what we were doing, and I wanted to cry because it was an hour and a half, and I didn't know what was going on. I am working on learning that. I said I was going to learn it by Christmas. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I have been working on it. I keep going. It's not Zumba. Somebody said, oh, it's Zumba. It's not. It's something else. I have been working on it. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm working on it. I had another experience in there. My hands are dry. I'm constantly applying lotion this time of year because it's just, oh, my skin gets dry. I had to use the restroom because I finished my coffee on the way down here, and I thought, I gotta pee. So I always try to go to the restroom before I start a video, because there's nothing worse than getting into like a 45-minute long video and then realizing 10 minutes into it that you need to pee. That is the worst. It will distract you like you wouldn't believe. But going into the bathroom in Walmart, it's like a house of horrors in there. It is. It's like a house of horrors. Because you go in and there's this long line of stalls. You have all the doors going down. And each one of them, you just push it open like, ah! And you go to the next one, ah! Jeez. Next one, and you just have to pick the one that's the least terrifying of all of them. You're like, I can't touch anything in here. It's so gross. But I gotta pee, so yeah, you do what you gotta do. So anyway, here's my plan. So I've had to change my plan. My plan now is going to be that I still want to go to Biscuit King, which is here in Lexington. I'm not really hungry yet, but I guess I'll just go on over there and get some food. I guess I'll just go ahead and have an early lunch. Because then I'm going to go to Thomasville, and I don't want to come all the way back out here after that just to go to Biscuit King. So I'm just going to go ahead and eat now. And then we will go to Thomasville and try their Walmart and see if their nail polish looks like crap. And hopefully we won't be Wang Chunging in there. I hope the music is quieter. One of the reasons why I use the earbud microphone is to kind of cut down on the amount of noise that it picks up, like the music in the store, because copyright dings are a serious problem on YouTube. You really have to look out for that. And it seems to be worse. It seems to be getting worse. So I have to be very mindful of background music in my videos, because I don't want them dinging me thinking I'm trying to play copyrighted music in my video. So that's my plan. Not quite what I had intended to do, but I'm gonna go to Biscuit King and see what looks good there. I don't even know. I've only been there the one time. I had that fried chicken biscuit. It was good. It was actually very good. I'll try something different this time. I don't know what. I got to see what they have. And then we will go to Thomasville, and I will try that Walmart and see all this shit behind the scenes you never see. You're saying like, why don't you ever organize nail polish anymore? Like, shit, I try to. You don't see all this. You see the finished product. You don't see all this. Okay, but yeah, I got the coolest. I love these. Are they not cute? Shoot, I'm gonna wear them anyway. I'm not gonna wait till Christmas to wear them. I'm gonna go ahead and wear them. Only thing I worry about going to Biscuit King, like a lot of their food is so greasy and fried, and I have a very intense hour and 20-minute long class that I'm going to tonight, and it's intense. I mean, it is intense aerobic activity it's an hour and 20 minutes solid. There is not really a break anywhere. And that class is challenging if you have had a heavy meal at any point in the day. It's like, ugh, I don't feel good. So it's probably good that I'm going to go ahead and eat a little earlier and give it time to kind of settle down before I go to that class later. So yeah, let's head to Biscuit King, and you'll probably see that on the other channel. But I'm gonna head to Biscuit King, and then you and I are gonna go to Thomasville. It's a train! I hear a train a-coming. Ooh, it's an Amtrak. Woo! Zoom! Whee! Now I'm on my way to Thomasville. I have a few minutes before she's going to click back in and start talking to me again. All that food was good. I had a grilled chicken biscuit at Biscuit King. I made a video of it, and I have officially declared that Biscuit King is better than Biscuitville. They are. They just are. Their food is better. It's a better value for your dollar, and it tastes better. The only problem is you have to go to either Lexington or High Point to get to one. So they're not, I mean, even Biscuitville is not a super huge, it doesn't cover a super huge area. It's just a certain chunk of North Carolina. And that's it. Like central North Carolina. Beyond that, you can't find Biscuitville, which sucks. Anyway, now we're headed to Thomasville. I am very full. I really feel like I need a nap after eating that big old biscuit. And I got a menu. So I've already planned my next trip to Biscuit King. If it's at breakfast time, I'm going to have their gravy biscuit and grits, and I want to try their scrambled eggs. So I'm going to get a little thing of scrambled eggs, grits, and a gravy biscuit. I'm going to eat that. And then I want to go back another day and have their barbecue sandwich and some fries, because we haven't tried their fries yet. I want to try their fries. So I didn't know did I know they had, I don't know if I knew they had a location in High Point, but apparently they do. And High Point is quite a bit closer to me than Lexington. So I might have to visit their High Point location. I didn't know there was one in High Point. I don't believe I did. If I did know, I forgot. Which wouldn't be the first time that happened. So, dealing with anxiety, let me talk about that right quick. I'm not here to offer professional advice. This is just me talking. I think when you're dealing with anxiety, first of all, talking to a therapist who helps deal with anxiety issues might be a good thing to do. You might want to pinpoint what triggers your anxiety, or if anything triggers it. It may not be anything, because I've had anxiety attacks that just came out of nowhere. Hell, I've had them in the middle of the night when I was asleep. Wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You might want to try to figure out if there's something in particular that triggers them. Practice deep breathing exercises. I don't know. It just sucks, honestly. I'm not really the best person to ask, because sometimes I feel like I've got a handle on my anxiety, and sometimes I don't. So, I am no expert on anything. I don't have a cure-all, simple fix for anxiety. I really don't. I would say, though, if you have dealt with anxiety for a long time and you're really struggling with it, I would definitely either talk to your doctor or go to a therapist who specializes in anxiety disorders. That's just and that's not medical advice or anything. I'm just a layman telling you what I would do. I don't have as much trouble with it as I used to. I find, though, that when I'm really stressed out, it gets worse. I have more trouble with it if I'm really stressed out. But I don't really have a lot of advice. That's it. I would maybe keep a journal and document, your anxiety issues and maybe whatever led up to it. How long did it last? How severe was it? And if nothing else, you can have a record that you can either show to your doctor or to a therapist, and it will give them a better idea of what might be going on with you. You can even just mark it on a calendar if you had days that were really bad. Even if they can just look at that, it might be something useful that they can use to help you out, to help figure out what to do for you. So that's my advice for anxiety. There's not like a magic pill or a magic cure for anxiety. There's really not. And everyone experiences it differently. My mother has dealt with anxiety all of her life. My grandmother dealt with anxiety all of her 94 years on this earth. I don't know. I do struggle with it. Fortunately, right now, I haven't really had any problems lately. But it may hit me again tomorrow. I don't know. So that's my advice for anxiety. I know it's not very helpful, but that's about all I know. For dealing with anxiety out in stores, I still say, and I've said this before, take a moment next time you're in a store and look around and tell me how many people are looking at you. If your anxiety comes from, feeling exposed or vulnerable, or like, oh my God, everybody's looking at me. They're not. Nobody's looking at you. Don't worry about it. That's easy to say, I know, but once you can start get a grip on the fact that you're pretty much anonymous in the store, just like everybody else, I think it might help a little bit. Anyway, all right, we're almost to Thomasville. She's going to start talking again in a minute. I'm hoping we can find some nail polish to organize in this Walmart. My God, I might have driven all the way down here for nothing. Well, I did get to make a video at Biscuit King, and I got to have a really good grilled chicken biscuit, so that alone was worth it to me. It was delicious. And I got hash browns again. They were really good. But once I got their menu, I got a copy of their menu, and I sat here and looked at it. There's all kinds kinds of stuff on there I want to try. I'm excited. So, yeah, I don't eat like that very often. People ask me, how do you eat like that? And, people ask me, how do you eat like that all the time? I don't eat like that all the time. I almost never eat like that. Really, about the only time I ever do eat stuff like that, I make a video of it, so I guess people think I eat that way all the time. I don't. I very rarely go out to eat. I very rarely get fast food. It's rare. I cook at home. I don't really bother with, fast food or takeout or anything like that. So if I cook at home, I know what I'm getting. So I prefer to do that. So yeah, I don't eat that way very often because I know it's not good for me and it's not good for my kids. So I don't do it. I know people who do it every day. They go out to eat every day. They'll go out breakfast, lunch, and dinner. First of all, I can't afford it. Second of all, it's not good for you. So, all right, I'm going to head off to Thomasville, and we'll see what happens when we get there. Oh my God, y'all. I could cry. I just left the Thomasville Walmart, and they're in there resetting the displays for all the cosmetics, which are all around the nail polish, which means there are employees all around the nail polish redoing the displays and everything for the cosmetics. So I can't do anything in there today. And the nail polish was messed up. It desperately needs me, but I can't do it because I can't. They're resetting all the cosmetics around it. There's no way in hell I can make a video in there today. Now, while they're in there doing that, you've got about 5 employees working on those aisles over there, and they're shouting back and forth to one another, pulling stuff off, dropping stuff, pulling. It's noisy, it's crowded. Nope, I can't do it. So, see, this is what you don't see on the other channel. There are a lot of times I will travel great distances to go make a video, and for one reason or another, it just doesn't happen. It just never, it doesn't work out. So if you don't see a certain type of video for a while, it may not be because I don't want to do it. It may be just that I can't do it for some reason. So, but I'm not altogether upset. I mean, I got to go to Biscuit King. I had a really good grilled chicken biscuit. I made a video of that. I'll show you later on the other channel. I got my cool ass pants, which I forgot to mention. Not only are they super cool, they were on clearance for $7. So I got them for $7. My really cool little pants. I checked out the workout stuff in here. They didn't have much. Their selection was pretty bad. And there's a Lidl right up the road from here. Lidl, that is the way it's pronounced in the USA. I made a whole video on that. They have a certain type of pizza, and it's the Lidl brand self-rising pepperoni pizza. Best frozen pizza ever made. I'm telling you, they are so good. The crust is good, the sauce is good, the cheese, the pepperoni, everything on it is perfect. And they're cheap. They're really big, and at least around where I live, they're only $2.79 each. My older son loves them. I love them. They are so good. Every time I go to Lidl, I stock up on those pizzas because they're so good. Unfortunately, the Lidl in Greensboro has not been able to get them for the last 3 weeks or so. They've had none. So another good thing about coming down here is I can at least go try the Lidl down here. It's right down the road from this Walmart. I can run in there and see if they have any, which my guess is they won't, but they might. You never know. That's why I'm always an optimist. You don't ever know until you try. Don't automatically assume it's not going to work out. It may work out great. It may work out better than you thought. So I'm going to run to Lidl and see if I can get some of those pizzas. If not, well, at least I tried. I'll just keep checking. Eventually they'll get them again. They'll come back. They just can't get them right now, and that's okay. That's okay. So I'm going to run to Lidl. I cannot make videos in Lidl. I know that Aldi and Lidl are 2 stores. I know I cannot film in either of those stores, so I don't, except when I went in there for the candle in Aldi, but don't tell anybody. Other than that, I don't make videos in there because they don't allow it. So I don't think it was a total waste. I think it was a good trip. I'm glad I did it. I am disappointed that I can't organize any nail polish, but I can still try. There are still some other ones. I want to go down and try maybe the one in Randleman or Ashboro. I can't do it today, but maybe one day next week I'll try one of those and see if we can do anything down there. So yeah, I'm trying to look on the bright side. The bright side is I got my happy little Christmas pants. I had a really good lunch, and I may even be able to get some of those good pizzas that we don't have at the Lidl in Greensboro. So it's not a total waste. I'm gonna keep talking at you. This video just goes on. We're gonna talk on our way back to Greensboro from here. But first, I'm gonna run to Lidl, and I will let you know if I find my pizzas or not. Well, I made a little detour. The GPS lady was telling me how to get to Lidl. And apparently you can basically swing a dead cat from Lidl and fling it and end up in the parking lot of Aldi. I mean, how awkward is that? They're really close together. Anyway, I saw an Aldi and I thought, let me stop in there really quick because I wanted to get these candles. Look at these beautiful candles. These are Soy Blend Candles. And I love the containers. I think they're little tins, like little metal tins. These are only $4.99 for these 3 candles. And they have different scents. The first one on the top is Frosted Forest. I don't know what the other ones are. I'm not going to open it. I grabbed this, and I got another one of these big scratchers. Evie loves the one I got. She lays on it every day. She scratches on it all the time. She loves it. My Aldi is out of these, but they had some in this Thomasville Aldi. So I grabbed another one of these little scratch and wrist scratchers, mainly for Evie because she really likes it. And it comes with catnip, and you can just sprinkle it down into it. And she lays on it like this cat. She sleeps on it. Although I put mine together differently. I put it together the opposite way, where it's like this side. I guess maybe I just put it together upside down. But anyway, it doesn't matter. She loves it, but it's cardboard, so eventually it comes apart. I have to constantly sweep up little pieces of cardboard off the floor. But I went ahead and grabbed another one. They're $7.99. So I picked up another one just to keep for her. And while I was in there, I perused the booze, and I found this. This is Broken Clouds Pinot Noir from the Sonoma Coast, 2017. It's not for me. Glinda the Good Witch, I know for a fact, is having a really hard time at work right now. He is in a management position where he works, and they've been dealing with some employee issues there and shakeups and changes, and he's really stressed out. So on my way home, I'm going to stop by his house, and I'm going to leave him this and this on his porch. It's just going to let him know, like, I hope you can have a more relaxing evening, because he loves candles and he loves Pinot Noir. So I'm going to leave these for him. Like maybe it will at least be able to relax a little bit tonight. So, but I just wanted to show you these, and then I'm going to give them to him, because with cats, I don't really like to have open flames in the house. But aren't they pretty? And they had different designs. This one was my favorite. It's so pretty. They were only $4.99. And the $24.99 candles in this one, it looked like they have not sold a single one. They have tons of them in there. They have probably 15 of them in there. I don't believe they've sold any here either. So at least, well, I guess the people of Thomasville are no more cultured than I am, and we can't appreciate expensive shit. No, we just know something that's not a good deal when we see it. So according to the little sign in there, this is like super yummy or great or something. It won some kind of tasty award. I don't know, but it's supposed to be really good. So I'm going to leave him a bottle of booze and some candles, and I'm going to text him and just tell him it's there, and I hope he has a better night tonight, that he can get some rest, and maybe tomorrow will be better. I don't know. So yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go to Lidl for real, because at some point I got to get home. I didn't want this to be like an all-day thing. I do still have stuff at home I gotta do. I gotta say too, and I think I put too much of that hair balm in my hair. My hair last night felt waxy. Now it just feels greasy. It feels weighed down. I do think I use too much though. I'll try it again, but I'm just going to use like half as much and see if that's any better. But anyway, now I'm going to Lidl for real. I couldn't pass up the Aldi. I had to go peruse their aisle of shame and see what all they had. It wasn't super different from mine, but you never know, you might find something cool on the aisle. And I picked up a sneak peek for next week. I always pick these up whenever they put them out. It doesn't look like they have anything really exciting coming up next week. No. They have some more candles, little Huntington Home cocktail candles for $5.99. They are cute. I don't know if you can see them or not. Yeah, they're cute. Not $25, I know that much. Okay, now I'm gonna go to Lidl for real. Well, they didn't have my pizzas in there. And I was wrong when I said you could sling a dead cat from the Aldi to the Lidl. Well, I mean, you could if you have a hell of a throwing arm. It's actually a lot further away than I thought it was. I thought it was right down the street from the Aldi, but it's more like a half a mile. So anyway, I did get to tour the Thomasville Lidl, but they had all the pizzas except the one I wanted. They were all fully stocked except for the self-rising pepperoni Lidl pizzas. They had none of those. So I guess they're just out. They have tons of every other kind. I didn't want the other kinds. I want the self-rising pepperoni. That was the one they were out of. So I guess I'll just go back to sad little Red Baron pizzas that don't compare and cost twice as much. Anyway, let me get us on the road. I'm gonna get back on 85, and then we will continue our chat once the GPS lady stops yapping for a little bit. All right, I think I can make it from here without the GPS lady telling me anything. I think I know how to drive on 85 for a long time. Follow all the signs that go to Greensboro. Yep. So yeah, that was kind of a bummer about Lidl, but I kind of figured there was a chance because I talked to one of the guys at the Lidl in Greensboro, and he said, yeah, we just have not been able to get them. They're just, I don't know, they're just not available right now. So, sorry. So I figured if they couldn't get them in Greensboro, they probably can't get them here either. So I wasn't terribly surprised, although it was hilarious to see that they had all the other varieties of rising crust pizzas. They had their Supreme, their 4-cheese, and I think there's another one. They had all the other rising crust Lidl pizzas, but not pepperoni. Like, of course, that would be the one you can't get. Of course it is. Yay. All right. I am a smart ass. I don't know if you've picked up on that. It's gotten me in trouble many times in my life, particularly as a child. I got my mouth popped many times because of stuff I would say. I don't know. It's like a reflex. And that's one reason why I don't like doing live streams, is because a lot of times I just say whatever comes to mind, and if somebody posts a comment that tees up a smart ass remark, I'm gonna go for it. And I come across as a bitch. I do kind of come across as a bitch, and I don't like that. You know, every time I do a live stream, I feel bad about it when it's over. I just have a bad feeling after that. Like, that didn't go well. And my older son was my moderator for the last live stream, and I asked him afterwards, I said, did I come across as kind of bitchy? He said, honestly, yeah, you kind of did. Yeah, I picked up on that. You said some things that I thought were kind of mean. I said, well, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I don't think I'm a mean person. Sometimes I do say things that come out wrong, especially off the cuff. Sometimes I just pop off at the mouth. I don't know. I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. If you say something that sets up a really smart alecky remark, I'm probably gonna say it. You should hear the stuff I don't say. You should hear the stuff that I hold back on. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So it's a damn shame you don't have 2 other lanes you could get in instead of riding on a bumper. Maybe they're turning off up here. I don't know. I'm not going to speed for you. There are cops everywhere on this road, and they like to hide in the little nooks and crannies over there. And I'll be damned if I'm getting a ticket to make somebody in a Dodge minivan happy. So, oh no, they're not turning off. They just want to ride right back there. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I was disappointed that I didn't get to organize nail polish. I had gotten into the frame of mind to do it. I really wanted to do it. I had been looking forward to it. You know, I had it all planned out. I was gonna go for it and organize nail polish. Get to the first Walmart. The music was loud, and nail polish actually looked wonderful. I didn't even have anything. I didn't even need to do anything. So, and then I get to the second one, and they're redoing the cosmetics displays. Like, dang it! I can't win. I can't win. But maybe one day next week I can find another one to try. I don't really feel like driving all the way back down here that soon, because it is quite a ways from my house. But maybe I could try a different one day next week. I'll give it a shot if it works out. So, yeah. I don't know, dang, what else is there to talk about? I don't know. I think some people asked me to talk about different things, and now I don't remember what those things were. Wow, that's a big old truck. That's a big old bunch of stuff. So I gotta go home. I have really got to sweep and mop my downstairs. Whenever we get ice and snow, you know, people going in and out, they track in that yucky snow water, and somehow it makes the floor look, it just, my floor looks really bad. I'm gonna go home and get everything up off the downstairs floors and sweep them thoroughly and mop them thoroughly and make them look pretty. And I can get done before any kids come home, so that's good. They'll be dry before anybody tries to walk on them, which is good. And then later I have an exercise class, edit videos. I don't get to edit a nail polish video. I was looking forward to that. I really was. Those are always a lot of fun. Editing them is not a lot of fun. Sometimes that's kind of tedious, but yeah, making them is a lot of fun. I love doing that kind of stuff. So I am kind of bummed out that didn't work out, but maybe next week. I kind of thought about doing a sandwich video. Maybe not next week, but sometime. I don't know. They take a lot of setup and prep and shopping, and I have to buy a bunch of stuff, and I have to get all the different kinds of bread, lunch meat, cheese, you know, all the stuff. I just have to buy all the stuff. It takes a while to get all that together, because I don't just have all that stuff at the house. I have to go buy all that stuff. Sandwich videos really piss people off. I don't know why, but sandwich making videos are the ones that I get the most hate for. They really make people mad, and I don't know why. I had somebody comment on one just yesterday, a sandwich video I made like 2 years ago. Somebody watched it and they said, "Don't you idiots in the South have any decent deli meat? That shit looks like rubber. Y'all are disgusting." Like, calm down. What the hell is wrong with you? You're not going to eat any of this. That's another thing I don't understand. Like, you're not going to eat any of these sandwiches. Why the hell do you care so much? Why are you so invested in this? Clearly it's not relaxing you at all, so maybe you should just not watch these videos anymore. When I get comments like that, I just instantly block the person and delete their comment. Most of them go into the folder, the filtered folder, so they don't ever show up in the comments section. You can set up in the community tab, you can add certain words and phrases that you want to filter out. So if a comment shows up with any of those words or phrases, it automatically puts the comment into the filtered comments folder, and then the user has to go in and look at them and decide whether or not to allow the comment. And that's where most of them go. So y'all don't see most of them because these people are not very creative. They're not very inventive. They all use the same words. They use the same phrases. You know, they'll usually call me an idiot or a moron or, you know, dumbass. There's a lot of that. You know, they talk about either something as ugly or disgusting. And so anyway, I have a whole list of all the keywords and phrases that these people use. And you develop it over time. You start to see a pattern in the way these people talk. And they all kind of say the same stuff, you know, you're stupid, you're ugly. Somebody said I was a shitty cook. Like, how would you know? Oh, it must be an ex. Yeah. Were you married to me? Well, if you were married to me, I don't remember seeing too many full plates coming back into the kitchen. I believe you scarfed down everything I made because you damn sure didn't cook. And that would apply to 2 of the 3. Anyway, no, I don't know. I kind of don't like making sandwich videos because people get so angry. They get mad at the fact that the sandwiches have meat on them. They get mad that I use plastic. The meat comes in plastic. The bread comes in plastic. Why? Show me where I can buy it where it doesn't come in plastic. Go to the deli, dumbass. Yeah, they're going to wrap it in wax paper, and then guess where that wax paper is going to go? In a plastic bag. It's going to go in a plastic little Ziploc bag, which is still made out of plastic. You know, I cannot help it that this stuff is packaged in plastic. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't have a meat processing plant here, and I don't have, you know, dairy cows and the ability to make cheese. I just don't have a choice. So it's not very relaxing for them, and the more I think about it, it's not very relaxing for me either, and my blood pressure just goes up, and it kind of messes it up. I kind of don't enjoy it as much because people just get so mad. I never thought making a video of me making sandwiches would piss anybody off, but it really does. People just, whew, Lord, they get mad. They get mad about the toppings on the sandwiches or the kind of bread I used, or, you know, tomato sandwiches really threw a lot of people for a loop. I never realized there were so many people who had never seen a tomato sandwich before. That really triggers people. Tomato sandwich. What kind of nasty shit is that? Don't knock it till you try it. They're good if you make them right. I don't know. Every time I think about making one, I think of all the trouble I have to go to make it, and it's like, I mean, I would, but then people are just going to complain. So it kind of ruins it for me. Like, I don't even want to. I don't know. Anyway, we are motoring up the road. Everybody's passing me because I'm going the speed limit. That's why I'm over here in the grandma lane. I'm over here in the far right lane. They can zip around me. Be all right. I don't care. I'm not in that big of a hurry. I'm just going home to sweep and mop, so if it takes me longer to get home, that's totally okay with me. But I went ahead and got the mop. I got the mop out and the bucket, and I got everything set to do it when I get back. So, and I'm working on some laundry too. So, but everything will smell so good when I get done. I use Gain multi-purpose cleaner, and it smells just like Gain fabric softener. I love the way that stuff smells. So my whole downstairs will smell like Gain when I'm done, and I love it. It'll smell great. I also found a book of top 10, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a top 10 book of like top 10 places to go hiking or top 10 beaches and stuff like that. And there's a car in front of me that's making lots of noise for no reason. I don't know what's wrong with this person. They're flying up on people's bumpers and then making weird noises with their car. probably ignored a lot as a child, so now he has to make lots of noise so people notice him. That's my theory behind people who deliberately have loud cars. Like, they spend lots of money to make their car as loud as possible. I think these are people who were ignored as children, and they never felt heard, they never felt seen, and now they are desperate to be heard and seen everywhere they go, even when they drive down the road. These are the people who walk through the store with their phone on speaker, or they're playing music on their phone so everybody can hear it. I think it's the same thing with people who do that. I think I should actually turn here. GPS lady's not talking to me to tell me, and I almost missed my turn. I didn't realize we were here already. My gosh, we got here fast. This goes a lot faster when I have somebody to talk to. Normally, I just say all this stuff to myself, which is kind of sad, I admit, but that's just what I do. I talk to myself all the time. My mother talks to herself all the time, and her mother talks to herself all the time. I tell you, I have a lot in common with my mother and grandmother. We're a lot alike in a lot of ways. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. I've mentioned this before, but I was thinking about it again earlier. A philosophy in life I've been working on is allowing myself to say, I don't want to. Like, you know, when somebody asks you to do something or go somewhere, and it's something that you really don't want to do, so you feel obligated to make up a bunch of excuses, or you go even though you don't want to, when you could just be honest with the person and say, no, I don't think so. Thank you for offering me, but I don't want to go. I'm not interested. Like, I'm not, you know, I mean, if that's the truth, although I realize in a lot of situations you wouldn't want to say that because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, and I'm that way too. I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but I was thinking about my grandfather, my mother's father. He was a very serious, quiet person. I mean, he didn't really talk a lot. He was very quiet, and he was remarkably sedentary. He could sit all day in the living room and watch game shows and talk shows, and he could just sit there for hours. Now, my grandmother was not like that. She was up and down all the time. She was always doing this, going here, doing that, and that's the way I am. I can't sit still that long. I go crazy. Make me sit there, good Lord, I'd go insane. But my grandfather was remarkably sedentary, and he did have Parkinson's disease in his later years. Actually, both of my grandfathers had Parkinson's disease. And my mother has Alzheimer's, so I'm sitting here like, my God, it doesn't bode well for my freaking future. Lord have mercy. Anyway, so my grandfather had Parkinson's, and he actually passed away in 1992. No, it was 91. It was right after I went off to college that he died. Anyway, he would sit a lot, and his doctor had been getting on to him and saying, you need to exercise more. You need to at least, now he had this long uphill sloped driveway to the mailbox up to the road. And his doctor said, you need to at least, you know, walk back and forth a few times up the driveway and back. Even if that's all you do, you need to walk every day. You need to move around, get a little bit of exercise every day. Okay. But he didn't do it. I mean, he would just continue to sit there and watch his programs all day, and he wouldn't exercise. And his doctor was constantly getting on to him about, you need to exercise. I'm serious. Okay. And he would always say, okay. And he wouldn't do it. And so my mom would fuss at him. You know, Daddy, you need to exercise. You need to exercise. I know. So one day, and he wouldn't do it. So one day, she bought him this little peddler. It's like a bicycle, like pedaling a bicycle, and it has these little gripper feet on it, and you put it on the floor, and you can pedal on it like you're riding a bicycle, but you can do it while sitting down. And she took it over there, and I was with her. She took it over to their house, and she comes in and says, I got this thing for you. And she gets it out of the box, and she gets it all put together, and she's explaining it the whole time, and he's just watching her put this thing together. He didn't say anything. And she got it all put together, and she put it on the floor there by his feet. And she goes, okay, now I got this for you. Now you can exercise. Even you don't even have to leave the room. You can keep watching your shows and you can get some exercise. Why don't you try it out? And he goes, nah. She said, why not? She said, I don't want to. Straight, I mean, he didn't laugh. He was like, I don't want to. And that's all he said. He just looked at her, I don't want to. Well, I went to all this trouble to bring this here. Well, I would have told you not to because I don't want to use it. And it was such a simple moment. It was like, why can't I be more like that? Just very direct and to the point. I just don't want to. I don't want to. So I've tried to adopt that to a certain extent in my own life. Like it's okay sometimes to just look somebody in the eye and say, no, I don't want to. You don't have to come up with a reason or an excuse. You can just tell them, I just don't want to. I think that works for me. So I have tried to adopt that more in my life where applicable. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but I think there are perfectly good times that you can just look somebody in the eye and say, I don't want to. Anyway, I'm going to head on up the road. And thank you so much for listening to this disjointed, long, ridiculous ramble. I really hope that you have a fantastic day. And I will see you again soon. Check out my other channel for that Biscuit King video. Bye.